think we're out of fruit snacks.
Oh, God!
When everybody hates it, we think it's okay. When everybody likes it, we gotta complain. We're quite contrary.
Warning! The following is intended for mature audiences. It includes references to the use of illicit substances as well as crude humor. Listener discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised too. Okay.
I need another beer already.
Thank you, and welcome to Quite Contrary. I'm Zach Nanimus.
Johnny Dim.
And today we're going to be talking about Deadpool. I know that it's been almost a year since Deadpool came out, but our channel wasn't around back then. We think Deadpool is great, but here's what sucked about it. Number 1. Where's the Wolverine? One thing I thought was missing from the picture was Wolverine. Now, there are plenty of Hugh Jackman references in all of this, but the stories of Deadpool and Wolverine are kind of intimately intertwined, and I expected them to do more with it considering that it's a movie from Fox. They could have used Wolverine. Maybe they couldn't afford Wolverine. But in case you didn't know, Deadpool actually got his abilities from the Weapon X project after Wolverine had already been through it. They used what they learned about Wolverine in order to give Deadpool pretty much the same abilities. So I just thought it would have been fun for the movie to at least make references, include pictures of Wolverine in his dossier, a little something that harkens back to the fact that he is interconnected with the rest of the Marvel Universe.
Luckily, this movie's from Fox, which means this isn't the last time we're going to see his origin story.
That one, and 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 that one.
Number 2, the overpass. So there was a long period of time before this movie came out that we actually were aware of it. There was a lot of promotional stuff. In fact, the movie only happened apparently because of a leaked footage of an overpass scene.
I don't know what you were quoting. Nobody said that. This just in elite footage of an overpass scene. Prior to that, there were rumors, scripts, tweets from Ryan Reynolds.
So what we end up finding out when the movie comes out is that this overpass scene was not only at the beginning of the movie or to set up a fight, it's a good chunk of the movie, at least 50%. It's a bit much. I know that the movie was had a low budget and things like that, but I mean, come on, they could have done something else. They certainly took a shortcut, if you will, in putting so many scenes in that overpass because they didn't have to change very much. I mean, if it was on location, yeah, it was a shortcut to have so many of the scenes there.
I don't think I understand why they had to have so many shortcuts. I mean, it's not like they had a low budget. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like they had a lot of pushback from the studio. Oh. Well, at least they got Hugh Jackman. Close enough. Number 3. Bad Girlfriend Carlyle. So,
His girlfriend's name was Carl?
Carlyle.
Yeah, Carlyle.
Carlyle! So, Deadpool's girlfriend in the movie is a woman named Vanessa Carlysle, played by the beautiful and talented Morena Baccarin.
I think he fucks her in the butt.
No. Other way around.
Oh, yeah, she fucks him in the butt.
Yes.
I like it better that way anyway.
Now, Vanessa Carlysle in this movie is a prostitute and later exotic dancer that Deadpool kind of protects, and then they form a relationship, and then she basically does nothing but get kidnapped. She's nothing but an idol up on the pedestal to not only be fawned over, but then they get into this courtly love thing where he's loving her from afar because he's grotesque, because he's the Deadpool, and later he has to swoop in like the Shining Knight, and she's got nothing going on.
Zach.
Yeah.
I smell a missed opportunity.
What is that missed opportunity, Johnny?
Copycat.
Copycat.
Copycat was that character's name in the comics.
That's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. She had superpowers.
Not only did she have superpowers, she had every superpower.
Right. Like Rogue.
Mm-hmm. But she could also change her appearance like Mystique or Morph.
That's pretty OP.
Yes. She could have solved pretty much every single problem in the movie. And yet they decided to keep her in the safe Hollywood damsel in distress, no character, no use for her being there except to get kidnapped plot thread. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, that Vanessa Carlysle, that could be a coincidence, or they're talking about another character. No, Deadpool dated Copycat. Her name is Vanessa Carlysle. All this already happened in the comic books. She expressly had powers when they were together. They just wrote it out. And I honestly don't know why. Now, I think if they were really going, I know they wanted a pretty face. You know, they wanted something kind of nice to look at. And if they were going that way, they could have gone with Deadpool's main squeeze, Death.
Oh, yeah. Number 4.
The Oblivious Parents. I know this may not have a lot to do with the film itself, but something that kind of was a blemish on the whole Deadpool experience was the oblivious parents that blundered into this movie and then had the audacity to complain that it wasn't appropriate for the 8-year-olds they brought.
It overshadowed some of the enjoyment. Like, we were distracted from enjoying the Deadpool. Why did I say the Deadpool?
He is the Deadpool.
He is the Deadpool. This fiasco overshadowed us enjoying the Deadpool, and it was a distraction.
It was also a distraction in not only in kind of a meta sense, but also in a very literal sense. There were 4-year-olds at the screening that he and I went to.
Appalling.
But
really.
You know what? If you're a parent and you believe that your kids are ready for that material, that's fine. Good on you. Good for having a mature kid.
Yeah.
But the problem is that there were a lot of parents that literally were upset.
Yes, we are talking about a very specific subset of parents.
And the thing is that Ryan Reynolds actually came out publicly. He was talking about one particular mother that created a petition for a PG-13 version of Deadpool because her 8-year-old loves Deadpool. And he was like, I think she's awesome. Like, I think his exact quote was, I wanted to see 9.5 weeks when I was 8, and my mom didn't sign a petition, you know? So, you know, you take the good with the bad. The one thing that you can't be here is mad that you didn't get a product after taking zero initiative to learn about it. And that's what's frustrating about this whole thing to me. And I think the real problem is that people are complaining that there's a product out there that isn't for them.
Right.
That happens all the time. I mean, I don't complain that some doctors offer prostate exams just because I don't have a prostate.
Zach?
What?
You do have a prostate. All adult men do have prostates, and they should get them checked on a regular basis.
I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, number 5 is actually going to be wrapped up in a new segment that we have for you. A segment called Jonny Can't Enjoy Things. Basically, this segment is Jonny vetting a grievance that he has with the movie that he actually believes that no one will agree with.
Which, little pulling back of the curtain there, because a lot of people don't understand that we actually don't believe a lot of these things we say. This is a channel built on just disagreeing with basically Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Like we're just opposite of that.
Or Netflix.
There's a pro tip for you.
Yeah.
So, number 5, the fourth wall. Where to begin? Okay, let's start with the rules, right? Let's start with following the rules. As a citizen, you follow the rules. You follow laws, don't you?
Many of them, yes.
Yes. And when you break those rules, you get punished for it, right?
That's accurate.
When you are enjoying a piece of media, whether that is a comic book, a TV show, a movie, what have you, there are also a set of rules. When someone talks to the observer in these particular mediums, that is breaking a rule. That rule is that the unless it's a stage play, right? The audience is not a participant.
I'd like to point out that both the original films, before sound was introduced, when they had to cut in text, and classic novels also feature fourth wall breaking. Sometimes Charles Dickens even would come out and say things like, "Oh, and don't worry about what's happening now. We'll fix it." Like, he'd say stuff like that.
You know who also did that?
Who?
The novel Moby Dick did that, and it was fucking awful. So part of the reason that this bothers me so much is that you try to think about the other X-Men, right? And you try to think about the other characters that fit in this Marvel universe that Deadpool lives in, right? And you try to imagine a world where you have characters that obey the rules. And this is a real thing that bothers me. I know how ridiculous this sounds.
Okay.
And let's say I'm an observer just there in that world. And it's not to say just like from a view of the movie, and I'm not being looked at by Deadpool. Who the fuck is he talking to? What the fuck is going on? It doesn't make any sense. So back to the basic idea of the fourth wall. Not only do I think the concept of breaking the fourth wall is just lazy art, but I think the people that need to feel included by having somebody talk to them through a camera is just sad. And you know what? Furthermore...
Johnny. We're talking to them through a camera. That's our show, everybody. We want to thank you for hanging out here on Quite Contrary. Once again, we want to say that we absolutely love Deadpool. This show exists so that we can crap on the stuff that we love.
And praise the things we hate.
Exactly. So, Johnny, promotional stuff.
Yes, so don't forget to tune in next week. We always have a new video every week. Please check that out next week. Subscribe, because that helps us out. And,
you know what? Agree, disagree, whatever. We'd love to hear from you down in the comments. We'd love to know your perspective on all this stuff. And if you liked our video, give it a little thumbs up. That never hurts. And we've been Quite Contrary, where we hate the stuff you love and love the stuff you hate.
I think we're out of fruit snacks.
Oh, God!